Hello again, everyone. This is Joe Henches with Beyond the Chart, and this is technical analysis of the stock market today. Today is Monday, October 20th, 2014, and we're going to take a look at the market action today, and then take a look at three stocks tonight that are review: Apple, Facebook, and Twitter. All right, we're going to start off with the Dow Industrials here, which was up 19.28 points today. Basically, it's just kind of sideways, a little doji bar in here. I was expecting more of a pullback today, but honestly, we are now in, and I'm still keeping this label here of a fourth wave pullback, corrective wave. And as we all know, corrective waves can become very complex, especially after you had a very sharp, quick one here, this second wave here, okay? So now we had this, and this was exactly 50% retracement of this entire move. So the real question is, are we going to get more? Is there something else developing? Or are we going to get some kind of, sideways choppiness in here? There's no way of predicting. I mean, the market's going to do what the market's going to do. And, I am looking for a fifth wave to come back down here and retest the low. That's what I'm watching for. And we're just going to have to, looking to see, does it develop or does it not? I mean, that's all we can do at this point. Now, if we start to get closes above the 10 in here, several closes like this, I'm going to have to start reevaluating and say, okay, what have we got going on? Now, honestly, the fourth wave cannot overlap the first wave. Well, the bottom of the first wave is up here at 16,663. So, I mean, we literally have got a lot of room to be playing around and doing something and still be in a fourth corrective wave. Now, because this second wave was fairly deep, I really am not expecting this to be greater than 50%. And so if it starts to get above this point here, then I am going to start to wonder, what are we doing? What's going on? Is there some kind of different wave structure, etc.? Okay, so we look at the S&P 500 and, did close above the 10 here one day. Now, did we get a high? Let's see, the 1862.49. Okay, so we barely fractionally closed higher here on the 16th, which was Thursday. So we've had technically 3 up days in a row. And then we got one close above the 10. Well, we've had one close above the 10 a couple of times before in this entire down move. So we got to watch and see, do we start to get more than one or two? Once we get at least a couple closes, then do we break the high, and stay above the 10? That's what we're going to be looking for, that we're getting a turn in. And, all you got to do is look back to some of these other patterns to see that, yeah, that's kind of the tendency that happens. Like look at the bottom here in the February low. You get a couple of closes above the 10 and then you break the high and then it looks like it wants to go. So, I mean, if it starts to do that, I mean, you've got to, you got to go with it. What are you going to do? I mean, the market's going to tell you, it's like again, it's really, really hard to predict exactly what this market's going to do, especially now that we're into this corrective wave action. Now we're looking at the New York Composite. We're getting the same thing. The New York Composite has definitely been up 3 days in a row, and we are closing above the 10. We're not getting any bullish divergence on the New York Composite. On this move down here, we're not getting any bullish divergence. So, the perfect setup would be to come back down and retest the low, go to a slightly lower low on a close. Of course, that would just mean closing, below this close right here, because I mean, here were the two closes. So it wouldn't mean that much of a close down. And then you get, a bullish divergence on your indicators, and then you turn around and rally for a little while. So I don't know. We'll just have to watch and see. NASDAQ, same thing, almost the identical scenario here. And let's look at the indicators. Again, no bullish divergence showing up at all. Okay, which is why I'm still a little bit I'm actually more than a little bit nervous to get all of a sudden into the bullish camp and be buying calls. And let's see, the Russell 2000, same thing. And look at this 21-day moving average. Okay, make sure I've got that right. Yeah, the 21 simple moving average. It is hard down at like a 45-degree angle. Okay, that's going to be hard to rally up through. You take some work to get through this, I think. And so we'll have to watch and see. We've gotten a couple of closes. You know, here's three closes above the 10, but we haven't broken like the high up in here, which I like to see. The short-term trading index, we're right in the middle. Even though we've gotten some readings down here below 0.9 on a daily basis, the 10-day is still in the middle, not giving us any kind of extreme. The VIX has dropped back dramatically, but it's really just pulling back to the 21, which is kind of the, you know, the middle moving average. So let me see about the indicators. What's the indicators? I guess we get a little bit of bearish divergence right here on the RSI on this move. And so, you know, that's sent it back down here. It's not dramatic. Again, that's on a pretty, it's not like this. I mean, this is over a couple of week period. Okay. And the same thing we saw several times before. I think it's more than, you know, I mean, here it's what, 2, 4, 6 days apart on the reading. And here it's the same thing, 2, 4, 6, 8 days apart. So 6, 8 days plus reading, and here we're getting a reading of basically 2 days. So I don't know. It's hard to, you know, put a ton of weight into this one, but, you know, we are pulling back right now. I mean, that's just the facts. The high-low index, this is another thing that has got me, okay, you know, wondering and watching, because we've got the 10 crossing above the 21 very fractionally. I mean, it's just barely doing it. And we've gotten new highs above new lows for the second day in a row, but not very much. I mean, it was, I think, there were 10 more new highs than new lows today. And what was the S&P up 17 today? The S&P's up 17. Then, you know, Nasdaq's up 57. So I don't know, pretty marginal, but it is potentially showing a little turn action going on in here. So again, that's why I'm watching the 10-day moving average. All right, let's take a look at Apple. You know, Apple in here, this has been chopping sideways for weeks, and I've been expecting a fourth wave to come back down, and now it's pretty much in that area. I was actually expecting it to be down closer to 94, but we got close, and now we're closing back up here. I just don't trust all the chop in here. We could be getting ready to do a fifth wave move and go up to the upper end of this channel. And that would be up around 108 to 109 kind of thing in terms of a move. And I think that's totally possible. I'm just not playing it given the market environment right now until the market starts to show its hand, you know, that it is truly, you know, bouncing more. But Apple's trading in the after hours up around 101. Yeah, 101 point, and it may have been a little bit higher than that even, but right now, and tonight it's 6:15 in Dallas time, Central Time, and so it's trading up a little bit, so right around 101. I'm not gonna chase this. Apple's been really struggling. I mean, look at this. You know, I was looking at this just a few minutes ago. Okay, so it gets up here to 90 in late May. And it has been struggling, and the highest it's gotten is to 103.74. So it has been struggling above 90 to 100, you know, for the last, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5, almost 5 months. So I don't know. It's you know, it is trending higher, but it's struggling trending higher. and that's just not a play I want to make right now. I don't feel that comfortable with it. Facebook's another one. Here's the interesting thing about Facebook. I mean, we got a couple closes here above the 10. The 21 is above the 55, and all of these are pretty good distance above the 233. But the 55 is flat. The 21 is slightly declining. We've got the 10 broke below the 21. We've got a trend line that was in place since early July that has been broken. And so right now, I'm thinking that the upward momentum has been broken to a certain degree. And if anything, I'll be watching this to see if we break down and start to move back down below the 10 here. And I may even put a trade idea on it for an entry at a specific point breaking down here. I am not going to look at an entry to go long right now. And same thing on Twitter, actually. Twitter is similar type thing. We got this 10 crossing below the 21. Yeah, we got the 55 up here, and it's rounding over just a little bit. But, you know, it broke this trend line here, very short-term trend line, you know, maybe a month's worth of trend. And it broke down here on the 13th. And now it almost looks like we're doing some kind of little topping. And so I'm really wary about this. And you know, I'm also going to be looking to see if there's some kind of, for an entry point here for a breakdown on this thing. So let's see the other thing I was going to look at. And yeah, we kind of, if you draw this trend line in through here, it slightly broke it, but hasn't really closed below it. So that will be interesting to see if we roll over and break down and come down this way. So, well, I mean, I think we're at a crossroads in here. You know, the real question is, the market come down enough in terms of you know, wave structure and what it's doing. You know, you can always, you know, bounce a little bit more. I don't, you know, right now I just, you know, I'm sticking with this wave count. I mean, it's just, that's all I can do until the market tells me that there's something else, you know, going on and shows something different, shows its hand a little bit differently. So anyway, that's the best look at it with one more day's worth of trading activity to put into the pot and see what we got. So, all right, we'll be back. I know I've got tomorrow. I'm going to do an update on some stocks. Let me see if I can figure that one out real quick. Yeah, there's my earnings list. And let's see. Chart schedule. Tomorrow I'm going to do an update on Celgene. Is it Celgren? Celgene? Which one is that? Let me look at that. Celgene. You know, it's like all of a sudden I just was having a blank on that. I'm going to take a look at Celgene tomorrow along with Goldman Sachs, Delta Airlines, and United Airlines. So a few stocks that I haven't been following in the past that I've added here recently, and we're going to take a look at those, and I'm going to add those to a Tuesday schedule and alternate in. So what I'm doing is, let me show you this. Let me pull this back over if I can. All right, here we go. And check that. Bear with me just a second here. This is giving me a hard time. Okay. All right. So here's a schedule that I've got, and here's what I'm looking at. So I'm going to look at these stocks tomorrow in terms of an update video. And then on Wednesday, these three tied into a market update. Then Thursday, I'll be doing these three. Okay. Then Friday, I'll be doing these three. And then this Saturday, I'll be doing these with a market update. Okay. And then this is on Sunday when I do a trade ideas update. and kind of thing. And what I'm doing is I've got these phased into like a 2-week cycle. So, next week I'll be going back to this pattern here and this sequence here, and I'll be alternating back and forth, trying to cover most of the stocks within a 2-week time period and taking a look at them. So that's the plan at the moment. So anyway, that's it for tonight. This has been Joe for Beyond the Chart. If you felt like the video was helpful, please share it on social media. And if you're not a subscriber, subscribe. It's just first name and email. It gives you access to the Trade Ideas webpage. We are actually 3 for 3 on the Trade Ideas, although this is so far one of the lower Trade Ideas months in several months. So we'll have to, I am watching for the Trade Ideas, and if I think on a couple of these I just talked about, I will put out the parameters for that on the Trade Ideas page tonight, and we'll go from there. All right, we will talk to you tomorrow on an update, and talk to you again on the market update on Wednesday night. Have a great Tuesday, Wednesday, everyone.